Hello, online family. I'm live from the sunny Malta. Sorry for my voice. I lost it 2 days ago and is recovering bit by bit. I'm here in Malta to speak and attend AABC Summit, the whole Sigma conference, and also MedTech Summit. And I had the pleasure and responsibility to speak 2 days ago at the ABC Summit in a panel about um, short-term profits versus long-term success. And I shared my view on how important it is to have long-term strategy for success, but of course, little by little to have also bits of small successes to build the momentum. And also yesterday, I spoke in a panel about how blockchain will change or may change the healthcare industry until 2025. So I left my window open, and fortunately, this microphone captures my speech and not so much from the noise. But maybe you will hear from time to time the buzz from the street here. It's it's super buzzy. I'm in Peaceville area where all the clubs, all the terraces, restaurants. So it's very noisy all the time until 3 a.m. in the morning. But I like it very much. Um, Today we'll have a presentation, workshop, webinar about how to invest in Web3. It's a pretty important topic these days, especially due to the fact that so many companies and projects collapsed over the last few months. Of course, what I'm sharing is not investment advice, so I like when I teach, when I educate, to to give information based on my experience, and also to plant some seeds for transformation, which will allow you to think about things, take some actions, but all the time I'm advising to do your own due diligence before involving in any project, before involving in any investment. So this information is pure for entertainment purposes, and I believe that all of us who are involved or wanted to be involved in Web3, we need to educate ourselves continuously. And this is a very serious thing. So don't don't play with this. And one very good rule to apply, when all the influencers are speaking about a project, um, pay very close attention to what is happening with that project. So don't action based on FOMO, fear of missing out, because you may encounter losses. So usually, when everything is all over the internet, it's too late to enter. If you like that asset, if you like that project, follow it and see what happens. Maybe you'll have a big price decrease after this campaign, or who knows, uh, we'll give some nuggets, some bullet points here. But as I said, when everything is mainstream, it's too late to enter. So stay away, no matter what people are saying. It's very important. So my name is Adrian Niculescu. I'm a Romanian serial entrepreneur and investor. I'm involved in blockchain since early 2016, and I have a complex and actual experience as CEO, CMO, VC, investor, mentor, advisor in projects. I'm in core team in few projects. I'm also advisor in about 12 projects right now, starting from startups to one Nasdaq listed company. And I see myself as a contributor in this space. I speak at dozens of conferences. You can Google me. You can search for my videos on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on LinkedIn. I have a pretty nice following and a very nice network from the investment world, you know. And I wanted today to point some things based on my experience with being part of projects in Web3, investing, advising here. So I tried to together in this very little time we have for this workshop the most important things you should know to start this journey. Here are some pics from events in Dubai, in, in Belgrade. This year I was pleased to speak in Dubai at many events. I went on a speaking tour in the United States and in Canada, starting in Toronto, continuing in Austin, and finishing in New York. I also spoke in Milan, now in Malta, and last month attended two events. I spoke in London, one of them in Washington Hotel in Mayfair, speaking to an audience of venture capital people and family offices, and another bigger one with a large audience. We had about 300 or 400 people in the room, also in London. And I said this week I'm attending and speaking at Malta Week. We had ABC Europe Awards last night. It was a very, very nice event. So I believe we are ready to jump in. Uh, my only hope is that I will not lose the voice for good, so I will be able to finish the webinar anyway. With this voice, I was able to speak at both events, and it was okay. It was a little bit of struggle, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that I was able to speak, to share some ideas, to bring some value, and contribute. So there is an evolution between Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and Web 3.0. And Web 1.0 was in the initial stages, the way the search engines categorized websites and pages based on keywords and the amount of backlinks they had from other sources. Web 2.0 is the era of social media where the communication is done in both ways. And we have all these giants basically managing our information, managing and owning our content. We are publishing online, and basically these giants are how to say are dominators of the internet. And we have Web3, which I believe is here to stay and is coming upon us exactly like the day is following the night. So it's coming anyway. And it's a web of money. And along with Web3, we started to see slang like blockchain, DeFi, crypto, decentralization, NFT, metaverse staking, DEX, decentralized exchange, checks, centralized exchange, post blockchain, radar, and so on. These are some new words which entered in our vocabulary. And one of the important shifts in Web3 is that the wallet becomes the center of Web 3.0, meaning that the old or the classic username and password are replaced by a crypto wallet or and an NFT. We'll talk about this later. But still, after 12 years of Bitcoin, you can't go with your Bitcoin wallet to purchase groceries from Tesco or another supermarket. But if you have, let's say, a card connected to Binance and issued by Binance, so a Visa card. In the case of Binance, they do basically is connected to your crypto wallet. You have a funding wallet where you can move money from a crypto wallet, and they will exchange in the back your crypto to fiat, so you will be able to purchase groceries and everything else. And while many of the people praising crypto, what they do, they say, okay, banks are bad, the financial system we know is very bad, but I believe that, of course, there is a fight between old and new, and it's normal, but there is a huge sweet spot at the intersection between the old and the new world. Because in the case of Binance card, it's a Visa card, right? So it's using the regular financial world, but in a different way, and it's a big opportunity here. I believe that the word of 2022 is the metaverse. And if you go at many conferences, you will see many opinions about metaverse. And especially the consultants from big companies, they only see the billions, trillions, gazillions of dollars which will be generated in 5 to 10 years. But I believe they miss the essence. And the essence is that, of course, this is my own definition of the metaverse, but I trust it's a good one. The metaverse is a new medium of expression, exactly like internet was in the 90s. And the internet in the 90s, because it was used by people, evolved in what it is today, which is totally different from what it was in the 90s, and became part of our DNA. Because if you don't have your phone, or you don't have access to Wi-Fi for a few hours or for a few days, it's even worse. You start feeling like it's missing something, maybe missing a nail or a finger or something like that. So it's already part of you. The same will be with the metaverse. So by being used by people, by users, it will become part of our DNA, and it will grow in ways we don't even imagine, we don't even think about. And while we speak, there are hundreds and thousands of startups around the world building metaverses. So in theory, thousands of metaverses are created, but many of these startups raising money will not build the platforms. Let's be real. I'm involved in the speaking at conferences since 2018. My first speech was in 2009, by the way. It was in Dubrovnik at a travel conference. That one was my first international speech. I'm talking about speaking in the blockchain space since 2018. I see time and time again, different teams coming this year with a project. They raise money, they kill it. Next time they come with another project, they raise money, they kill it. The same will be with the metaverse. And I believe that the future of metaverse is the business metaverse, because these platforms, to become sustainable, they need to generate revenue. And it will be a very important topic, the interoperability between metaverses. So if you are part of 10 metaverses, it's not feasible to have 10 avatars. Ideally, you have one on one of them, or the dominant, your dominant avatar, and after that to use that avatar in other metaverses. So for the metaverses which will survive, it will be essential for them to have interoperability, to be able to switch from one to the other. And everywhere, when we talk about crypto, when we talk about Web3, we talk about decentralization. But I believe that still the decentralization, except the DAO type of governance, is utopic, doesn't exist. We are in the early stages of it, because every platform has a business support team, technical team, plus VC funds in search for return on investment. So somehow um, they don't run by themselves. So let's be clear with that. And even if you ask yourself if Bitcoin is really decentralized, in fact, is not. The technology behind it is decentralized, and it was created to be decentralized. But if you look at the uh, the wealth in Bitcoin distribution, we'll find out, and you can find all the time statistics on internet, that roughly 90% of Bitcoins are owned by 2,000 wallets. The figures are approximate. Could be, I don't know, 85% or 92% owned by 1,500, 2,500, around that, So roughly 90% of Bitcoins are owned by 2,000 wallets, which shows that from the wealth perspective, from the business perspective, Bitcoin is not centralized. Coming back to, is not decentralized. Sorry, it's pretty centralized. And if you look at what happened with lending platforms and centralized exchanges, which mismanaged customer funds, you see that unfortunately, still crypto is not decentralized. Coming back to the metaverse, I believe that the metaverse is the best personal development tool, because when you create an avatar in the metaverse, can be your best version. Can be 20 years younger and have six packs, even if you don't go to gym. Can have a Hollywood smile, even if in the real life you don't have it, and so on. And there is big future in jobs and business opportunities that will be created by the metaverse. And as I said before, people spend more and more time in the metaverse, meaning that um, due to the fact that we are living in the economy of attention, the brands want that attention, right? So they want to be present in the metaverse. They want to have banners there. They want to have shops. They want to have their own metaverses. This is a very, very important trend. You see fashion brands and other big brands, they all want a piece of action. It's normal to be like that. Um, Looking at Web 3.0 and the transition between Web 2.0 to Web 3.0, these bring the seeds of the new entrepreneurship. And one of the new things, one of the new paradigms, is that the startups can gather new users by minting, aka printing, computer bits, aka coins and tokens, which could become available digital cash. And also, they can use other creative ways to get funds, like selling NFTs, which is different from the regular venture capital world. And it's a democratization of investments. And of course, when we are using the word investment, due to the fact that most of the crypto market or Web3 zero world is not regulated, um, um, it's not necessarily the most appropriate term, but every user who is purchasing some coins for, let's say, $100, they call themselves investors. So it's this is the current slang. And the democratization means that the investors of all sizes can back the startups they trust, they love, they like, by purchasing coins and tokens. And of course, they are more risky than equity, but can become uh, pretty fast, liquid, and potentially profitable. No? And this opens an entire discussion to discuss for days about the ethics behind projects, because we see all the time racketeers, hacks, inside jobs, basically in good projects. The founding team is selling their shares their share of coins or tokens, and they are destroying the market. And after that, they disappear. There are pumps and dumps, market manipulation, wash trading, and a lot of bad things. So, in order to protect yourself, and of course, this is not a perfect process, but at least will keep you in the market, will minimize losing in bad times. You need to build some strategies. You need to know what you are doing, and uh, uh, the recent crashes of platforms show that even very savvy investors they look for high returns without managing the risk. They look at, let's say, to keep some crypto in a platform for a 20% return per year, but they don't ask themselves how this 20%, how this 20% is generated, and if there is a business model for that, or if these rewards are only generated from deposits coming from other people, and even very savvy investors, they they don't take to they don't take this into consideration, which is very bad. Plus, we have this blinding type of investing. If we see a large fund putting funds in a certain company, another 20 smaller ones are jumping on board because they see that these big guys are doing that, and sometimes even for the biggest investors, for the biggest funds, there could be commissions the investment manager is getting from the project. So nothing can replace the personal due diligence. This is very important. Coming back to our discussion, what is an NFT? Uh, an NFT is actually it's called non-fungible token, and the big difference is that while let's say with bitcoins, you can switch one bitcoin to the other, or can swap, and there isn't any difference. In the NFT world, they are non-fungible, so basically every NFT is unique. And sometimes when collections are launched or when NFTs are launched, the market price is formed, and this is a very bad strategy, but it happens. Let's say we are 5 friends or 10 friends, we have some money in our wallets, and we start selling the NFT between them. $1, $10, $100, $1,000, and let's say it can reach in this circuit from let's say $1, it may reach, I don't know, $10,000. Let's use an extreme example. And after that, what happens? The project buys some articles, some press releases, saying that this NFT grew from $1 to $10,000 in 1 month. And what happened? It will be a fool who will come to buy for 11,000, hoping that it will sell for 100,000, and it will not happen. Look for the articles about how expensive was the first tweet, and the guy wanted to resell it, and unfortunately, uh, hoping that half of the sale will go into charity, but he paid like I don't know 2.3 million. I don't remember exactly the figure. It doesn't matter. And when he wanted to resell for I don't know, 40,000, 40 millions or something like that. You can find the exact data on the internet. And that person only received offers for like $2,000 or 3,000 or 6,000, which is nothing compared to the price of purchase. So be very, very careful. And as mentioned before, the Web 3.0 wallets and also NFTs, they become the new username and password. So by using a certain NFT, you could access uh, uh, a membership. You could access perks, or being close to an artist, or being part of the mastermind or attending event. It's a new world opening. It's very important. Coming back to the metaverse, there will be two categories of jobs and new entrepreneurship type of economies to be created. Some of them are related with businesses and opportunities in the metaverses, and the second one is related to jobs and business opportunities supporting the metaverses, like tech support, sales, marketing, fundraising, and so on. Um, One very important question, and it's important to think about it. We have some tech giants dominating the Web 2.0 world, right? They have the user data, they have the content, they have the money, they have the investor, they have everything. Are are the tech giants of the Web 2.0 world ready to give up their monopoly and oligopoly towards Web 3.0 to let the decentralization uh, drain their incomes? No, and most of them are investing like crazy in Web 3.0. So to own the best projects, which will get most of the money from the Web 3.0 world, right? Because if these projects, doesn't matter how they will be, how they run, if they will not be economically sustainable, it will be a mess. They will die, right? They will go bankrupt. And because I'm seeing a lot of projects, either I'm investing, I'm advising, I see about 1,000 pitches a year. When you are working in this space, and generally in investments, you need to become what is called uh, superior pattern recognizer, not to recognize some patterns. And when you want to assess a Web 3.0 project, if you want to involve, and if you want to put some money, or if you want even to take a job in that project, which could lead you to the next level in your life or in your profession, there are three things you need to assess. This is how I'm doing. First, the team, the people behind it. What types of people? If they are hardworking, if uh, if they are building long-term things, or if they are serial scammers, or people who raise money disappear, or just in the business of raising money, they don't deliver anything. It's very important to understand. Also, you could see profiles on the team page, which could be fake profiles, or they can add LinkedIn profiles of people who are not involved in that project. So you need to check very carefully. Now the events are open. You can go to conferences and events, meet people face to face. No, also very important. So shake their hands, look in their eyes, see what they are thinking, how they are behaving, how they are talking. Now, the next one is if that project has a technological, like a native blockchain or a new type of coin token, or a business model innovation. If they have intellectual property, if they have patents, very important. And third, if they have the proven potential to mass adoption in a certain niche or market. This is essential for a project to take off. If you analyze these three things, and if you uh, develop this superior pattern recognizer skill, uh, you will be ahead of 90% of this market. And we will discuss a lot about these things, which are very, very important in our um, uh, Web 3.0 investing with VIP Mastermind. And I want to warmly invite you to take part of a new group I'm forming, because the first group was sold out in just few days, and I had a waiting list of 6 people wanting to be part as soon as possible this mastermind. The thing is that it's a mastermind I'm running by myself, so it takes a lot of time and commitment. So I wanted to be sure before forming a new group if I'm able to commit properly. And I would like to tell you what is included. Of course, it's by application process, so it's not there is not a buy this link or join. We need to have a conversation. If I know you already, it will be even better. It's very easy to join. if we don't know each other, we'll have a little chat, a little call to understand your goals and to identify if this mastermind will help you or not. What is included is a 12 months thing, so it's not a weekend, and we'll have three one-to-one strategy calls, one at the beginning of you joining the mastermind, another one towards the half, and another one towards the end of the 12 months to evaluate your journey, where you are starting and how things are going and how closer you will be to your goals after these 12 months. Uh, Minimum market value of this strategy calls of $3,000. It will be 12 months of bi-monthly, so every 2 weeks group coaching calls, where we will discuss all the things included in this presentation, but more deeply. Um, a reasonable market price for this, so it will be like 24 calls. It's $12,000. Then we'll have every other month, so we'll have 6 calls um, to help you to rewire your mindset. I'm calling them Web 3.0 Millionaire Framework Group Coaching Sessions. It's very important your mindset to be adapted, to understand this world, and to be able to benefit from it. Also, you will get a lifetime premium subscription of my Substack newsletter, Inside My Head, New Entrepreneurship, which is priced separately $997. You can go on adrianniculescu.substack.com to look for it, and you'll see this price. The total value of the package is $20,900, and today only, and for the next few days until this group is full, we have a limit. So it's a small group to be able to focus on working on very specific things. Only today, you can have it with 90% off. So it's only $1,997. And as a month of special offers, if you get one license, one spot in the mastermind, you will be able to invite a second person, which could be your spouse or a very good client or a very good friend. It can be a great Christmas gift for somebody because it will potentially change the person's life and perspective about Web3, about investments, and so on. So it could be very, very available. And basically, for 2 licenses, it's only around $5.5 a day. The application process is very simple. You need to get in touch with me, either on LinkedIn or by email. I have here my email, or one of these three numbers: my Romanian number, my UK number, and my UA number. All of them have WhatsApp, so you can get in touch via WhatsApp. You can chat there or schedule a call. So to be sure that the mastermind is for you. Based on the information shared during this webinar, you can figure out things by yourself. You don't need my help, but if you want to achieve your objectives faster and with a lower rate of failure, you need to be part of this mastermind, which will be one of the best ways to invest $1,997. And mentioned before, this is not investment advice. I will do my best to teach you, to show you how to become a superior pattern recognizer, how to understand things, how to take responsibility for your decisions, so things to be easier and easier, and of course to become more profitable and to survive other and potentially thrive on long term. The volatility of this market, the market crashes, to be diversified. So not to depend on things you don't have any control of, right? Thank you very much for watching this presentation and for being today with me. And we see each other with new videos. Also, we publish more articles, more educational content. And if you have any questions about this specific thing, about this specific mastermind, other questions, I'm always one message away. Thank you very much.